All right, we are in Ed Gillespie's personal office in his campaign headquarters. Now, while he's talking to you, I'm going to shuffle around on the desk and see if there's anything. I should show you, but I shouldn't. But I was looking over this. I saw a letter written to George Bush in crayon. I'm fairly certain that's not your handwriting. So what is the story behind this letter? And why does this have this fairly significant place in your office?
Well, first of all, when I send letters in crayon, I usually use a red crayon.
All right, there you go. Yes. Good Republican red. Yes, you know.
But my daughter Carrie was either 6 or 7 years old during the first campaign in 2000, and I was working for the president in Austin, Texas, on the then Governor Bush on the campaign, and Carrie saw the first debate. She actually watched the debate with her mom, and she wrote the then governor a letter saying, you know, that you've done good in the debate on the debates. I think you're doing better than Al Gore, and that Al Gore was rude in the first debate.
I remember writing the exact same thing in my analysis. So good, your daughter could very well be a pundit someday. So.
Please tell my dad I miss him.
Aww.
And then she had like a little kind of almost like a P.S. Al Gore has been giving you dirty looks in the debates.
You know, that is an astute 6 or 7 year old, or it says a little bit about Al Gore's debating techniques.
She just thought that he ought to know that.
Exactly, yeah, I'm sure.
But he wrote her a very nice letter back, which was very kind and thoughtful of him, and told her that, you know, hoping that she could have her come to the White House someday, and they could meet if everything went well, and she ended up being able to do that, which was nice. Right. Happy ending.
I also noticed you have a particularly ratty-looking windbreaker over here. And
yeah.
It's the middle of summer here in Virginia. It is the wet mop humidity level and stuff. There must be a story behind this.
Well, you know, one of the ways that I worked my way through college was at Catholic University of America. I was a Senate parking lot attendant, and I would help the Senate staff park. And so this is a Senate parking lot jacket that the parking lot attendants wear to work, and it's not my original one. I have to say, it was given to me by a friend for my birthday, which was very thoughtful. But it is the jackets that we wore on the Senate parking lot.
The original one still fits, or to get a little, you know, the years.
I think I lost the original one. I can't remember where. Poker game, maybe, I don't know.
any fender benders? Any, you know? Oh, that was Strom Thurmond's car. I really shouldn't have run into that.
It's only staff, no senators. They wouldn't trust us with that. But no, I was a pretty diligent parker and pretty good at it.
Did you ever run into people on Capitol Hill, you know, major figures, and they, you know, nice to you, rude to you? You know, like most young people don't get a chance to be around the Senate. So clearly you must have said, I'm coming back here someday, you know.
No, you know, like I said, it was mostly the staff, and you know, they were generally pretty nice and courteous, and I mean, you know, they're handing you your car keys, so they have a little motivation to not kind of tick you off. Yeah. But you know, at that time when I was working on the parking lot, and you could see the Capitol in the distance, it never occurred to me that someday I might actually run for the Senate. So it's kind of, I always say I'm hoping in November to become the first person, I'm pretty sure ever, to go from the Senate parking lot to the Senate floor.
There you go. And also just over here, there's a picture of a giant elephant, and I'm guessing it doesn't look like either one of those figures are you. So
this is a photo signed by Dick Armey, who was my second boss on Capitol Hill. But
that is you. Okay, you know.
This was taken by the Dallas Morning News on the night of his primary win in 1986, and I was his campaign manager. I ran his first re-election bid, his primary campaign, which he won handily, and it was a very Republican district, so actually winning the primary was kind of the key to winning everything. But that was the election night party.
Okay, I was going to say.
They were
not taking some game preserve or something.
No, they were putting up decorations and things, and he and I were, and the Dallas Morning News caught that photo. It's kind of a nice shot.
Okay. You've been RNC chair, you've been an advisor to the Romney campaign, to the Bush campaign. As you look over your long career, kind of on the periphery of politics, did it prepare you to be a candidate, or is it completely different when the cameras are in your face and the questions are coming at you and all that? Like, you know.
No, it's completely different. I mean, I think a lot of things, you know, help me be an effective candidate. I think having, you know, that kind of experience, you know, clearly being former chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia and being a general chairman for Bob McDonnell's campaign for governor in Virginia, and helping to campaign for state house and state senate candidates all around the Commonwealth has been helpful to me. Experience in the private sector, experience in the White House, experience on Capitol Hill, of all, I think, you know, been helpful. But you know, nothing really prepares you for being on the other side of that line. And but I enjoy it, and you know, it's a campaign that has a very good feel to it. I you know, have you know, confidence in my message. I believe in what I believe, which helps. And I just think that we're at a critically important time for our country, and you know, it's a country I love, and you know, we've been very blessed by it. My father is an immigrant to this country. His father was a janitor, and you know, I got to be counselor to the President of the United States of America. And I just want to, you know, make sure that future generations and other families, you know, experience the blessings of liberty that we've seen. And I'm worried that we won't have that kind of opportunity and upward mobility if these policies continue to be enacted.
Okay. One last question. Correct my memory, you were Republican Party chair when Terry McAuliffe was chair of the Democrats.
That's correct. He was.
You guys both went to Catholic University, right?
We did. Yeah, I had clearly had better professors I had.
Right. So you guys had debates and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you were opposite him, did you ever look at that guy and say, "Oh yeah, that guy's definitely a potential governor someday"?
I never thought it.
Okay. And so would you? Well, if that guy can win a statewide race, I could do it. Is that kind of
you know, we duked it out pretty good, and you know, I think, you know, he's obviously, you know, got elected, and as a former DNC chairman, you know, Mark Warner is a former DPV chairman, party chairman. Tim Kaine's a former DNC chairman. It's not that uncommon in the Commonwealth of Virginia that you have former party chairs, you know, running for elected office.
Cool. All right. Mr. Gillespie, thanks very much for your time.
You bet. Great to be with you, Jim. Thank you.